Welcome back to SEL Interviews. Now I've got Snipes from Clemson in his last dance with the roster this year. Snipes, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. It's a nice Sunday. Tigers got a win yesterday in football, so nothing to complain about.
Nice. Good weekend indeed. All right, so we're going to start off the interview like I've been starting off all the others, just talking about kind of in a general sense, how has the SEL season for Clemson gone so far?
You probably knew the answer to that one already. We're 1-3, so probably doomsday scenario so far. And I mean 1-3, it's a unique situation because I don't think we'll miss the LCQ, right? Because I think we'll beat our B team, right? I mean, we don't beat our B team. Ooh. And then I think we'll beat Tulsa because apparently everybody's taking turns. No, we already beat Tulsa, but we'll beat one other team. Everybody's taking turns pounding them. So we'll make the LCQ. It's just we're not where we want to be. 1-3, and we've lost to two teams that I think we should have beaten. I think we should have beaten Arkansas. We played last week. We're still figuring out the kinks. And then Georgia, same thing. We were just losing games where we're sitting there going like, what are we doing? And so I definitely feel like we should be 3-1, but we're 1-3. So not the start that we were looking for sure.
Fair enough. I mean, it's a new look roster this year with Masao and Darth Pepe joining the starting lineup. So talk about that in dealing with a pretty much completely fresh lineup with Pepe coming up from the B team and Masao. He's a freshman, isn't he?
Yeah, so a little bit of a roster revamp. Sorry, my cat's hanging around. We had to revamp the whole roster, so people who know our team know that it was me, Sean K, and Mitch for about a year and a half in SEL. And then Sean K graduated, and we replaced him with Heartless. And then Mitch graduated, so I'm the only one left from the original team. And we kind of just had to, hope we could put a team together this semester because a bunch of people were leaving. So we pulled up Darth Pepe, who I have a ton of experience with. He was C team his first year, B team his second year, now he's A team. So he's been steadily progressing, just playing a lot with the guys on the A team at the time. So he's finally made his way to A team. And then we have Masal, who ended up being the best freshman we got this year, and the best freshman we've had in like 3 to 4 years, maybe more rank wise. So we take a lot of pride in the fact that like we don't get good players, we make good players. The highest rank we've ever gotten as a freshman in the last 4 years was GC1. And for us, it's just about building the players and building the rosters. That's why we're super proud of how competitive we can be. It's because we really don't get, we're not like the USC that just, here's a rank A player, have fun. He's a freshman, you get him for 4 years. This is the highest we've gotten. He actually hit SSL right before the season ended. So he's been peaking rank wise, and he's been floating around 1700 so far. But we added a freshman, and then we have our old guy, Maddox, who's a junior, and then we just have the dinosaur, which is me. But we're still just figuring things out. Having Mesal be better than we expected is a little bit different because me and Pepe are more of a duo. We understand each other. We've played thousands of games together.
Sure.
So how do we figure that? How do we put that guy in there, and how do we make the roster work? And I mean, we have till the LCQ to do it, and then it's kind of life or death. So we're trying. But with any new roster, there's going to be kinks. We have a lot of potential. We just got to work it out.
So is there any special prep that you guys are doing as a trio to iron out those kinks and work towards that LCQ?
Short answer is not enough prep. And some of it's out of our control. We have scheduling things. Mesa has 2 labs, so late nights for him. We're rescheduling every week on Mondays for one of our leagues. Then Pepe has he has a job. He has classes, and then I have law school prep. I just finished up my LSAT last week, so that kept me pretty busy for most of the time. But then I still have to wait for results, maybe more studying. It's my last semester, so I have to worry about graduating and stuff. So we've had a lot of things that have kind of prevented us from playing, but we still need to play more. We're doing a scrim, I think tonight, and then we're trying to get VOD reviews in. It's just a little weird. For me, it's a little bit of fatigue of, dang, I've been doing this a long time.
Right.
But I think we just need to do more prep because again, we have the potential, but we just need to do more than play ranked or play 1 or 2 scrims a week or just play a couple cash games before our matches.
Gotcha. So where do you see the ceiling of this team being? I mean, not the greatest start, but if you were able to put things together, where do you see this team kind of finishing on the SEL scale?
On the SEL scale, man, I mean, I want to make playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll be leaving after this semester. So long term for playoffs, it'll
Oh,
be Wheezy that steps in. That's a little sneak peek for next semester. He's our sub right now. But I don't know. I mean, we can be good. I know we can be good because we have the elements of it. We have the potential for really good chem, and then when we're playing good, I mean, we're very competitive against better teams. It's just about putting it together, and I think that's something we've lost from the previous year. Of um, like me, Sean K, Mitch, we didn't lose bad games.
mm-hmm.
We only got upset one time in like 2 years as a roster. It was in
Okay.
SEL, and that was because we just didn't practice that week. But we just need to find that rhythm of winning games we're supposed to win. And if we do that, I think we can get up to like, I mean, around that top 10 mark because it's very competitive. This is the most competitive it's ever been, especially with these new teams, and they're all going to be figuring each other out, right? But
Mm-hmm.
I think we can be right there because I mean FAU is probably going to get second in our group, and we were there with FAU. That was our first match we've ever played together, like our first time actually playing together, and we lost
Wow,
3-1. But
it was close.
like there was potential. A couple games went to overtime. You see a couple goals flip, like we at least take them to game 5. And if they're going to be a French top 10 team, I think we can be right there with them. So competitive for playoffs, but for now it's just about surviving the dogfight that is the LCQ.
So go the LCQs. It's spread out over a couple of weeks now. It's no longer a 1 day type of thing with the SEL. So
Mhm.
does that benefit you guys, or is that something that might be more harmful than helpful?
Um, I think it's helpful. If you
Mm-hmm.
think about like a lot of these teams, they're very hot teams. They like you get them on the right day, and they're just gonna just burn through and play good. And especially teams that already have it figured out, they just want one day. They want to just sit down, play the game, feel good. We've got things to work out. I mean, it's again, it's no secret. It's a whole new roster basically. Um, I'm only like we had 4 players last semester. I'm the only one back, including the sub, right? So we have
Right.
a ton of things to figure out. More time just means better results for us. We are only going to do better with more time, and so a little extra week for the format. Well, we're fine with that. That's great. That means we get to put in a little more practice. It means we get to do more VOD review, and I don't know. I like it. Plus, it's. I mean, last year, if you remember, the reason we couldn't do the LCQ is because it was a 1 day format.
Yep.
Um, Shout out my B team. Love
Yeah.
those guys. Foof loves them too, but yeah, I don't know. I don't see the format hurting us. I think only we can hurt us at this point.
Okay, got it. Well, that was a great view into the Clemson spectacle this season, Snipes. I appreciate you joining me.
Yeah, it's gonna be up and down. Spectacle's not over yet, but hopefully we have a couple good moments.
All right. Well, best of luck. And that does it. My interview with Snipes from Clemson, his last semester with the team after being, I mean, with the roster for so long in the SEL since season zero. It's one last dance, Snipes. Best of luck.
One last dance. Yeah, thank you, and good luck to all the other teams, unless
All
you're
right.
playing
Well,
us.
thank you for watching SEL interviews. This is our third and final interview with Clemson. So hopefully you enjoyed. And of course, check out the SEL every Wednesday, 6 to 8 p.m. Central Time. So I'll see you there. All right. I hope you enjoyed that interview I did with Snipes. Welcome to the Mr. Bevek Twitch channel, now with shorter hair. I hope everyone's having a good night. It's time for some SEL Rocket League, which is kind of why I played that interview I did with Snipes this past weekend, because this is a big series between Clemson and Florida. I got it backwards, but you can forgive me. Either way, Clemson is 1-3 right now. Like you heard Snipes talking about at length, they need a win. He messaged me before this series and was like, we worked on some stuff, so I think Clemson's going to put up a solid fight here. But Florida, SSL team, completely revamped roster. They've split their 2 series so far. They lost to UGA and FAU, who are 2 of the top 3 teams, I think, in pool number 1, which is where we're playing tonight. And they beat the Clemson Purple team, which is the B team, over at Clemson. And they beat Tulsa, who I expect to finish 8th in this pool. So this is a big test for both these rosters, and I really would not be surprised
to see it go a very lengthy distance. All 5 games is something I would not be surprised to see, because this is a big series for both of these two rosters, just to get a little bit of momentum going into the last chance qualifier for either side. And if you're Florida, you get this win and you're putting yourself in a really good spot to still contest for a top 2 position in the pool. But once we get started, I think we'll have a good idea of how good these teams are gonna be looking on this in this best of 5, because Clemson, hit or miss. I think against UGA, Snipes was saying they struggled a lot, and against FAU they looked pretty good. So I mean, those are 2 of the top teams in this pool, like I was saying. And so if Clemson has those good moments, if they can put it together for a whole series, then they could find themselves a bounce back win that they really need. So I'm really excited about this one. I wanted to pick this one up for the stream because I've got this video that I'm working on, some more SEL content for those that follow my YouTube, which you should go subscribe to Mr. Bepic on YouTube if you're not already and you like the SEL. But I'm putting together a list. Well, I already put it together, actually. I just have to record and all that. Series to watch this week and the narratives that go along with it. And I put out, I think it's a list of 10 series. And one of them already played. UAH and Kentucky was one of the best of 5s. And this one was another one of the best of 5s. The Arkansas versus Florida series, I believe, as well, includes Florida, because they got a lot to prove this week. I haven't seen enough from Florida to make an accurate judgment on them, even though it's week 3, even though they've got 4 series under their belts, completely new roster, and they've beat teams that they should be beating, that they're ranked higher than, and they've lost to teams that, if they were playing them close, I would have them as close to being a contender in this league. And they lost to, let me confirm it real quick so I'm not giving you false information. But against UGA, they lost in 4, and against FAU they lost in 4. So close-ish. So I'm not really sure. Not really sure what to think of Florida just yet. So very eager to watch how they play. Watch how these youngsters replace the old Florida roster that was known for doing some damage in the SEL. I mean, I think it was 2 straight top 4 finishes for UF in the SEL across the last 2 seasons. And sure, the competition has gotten a whole lot better since even season 3, not 6 months ago. But it's gotten so close, and we've added good teams that are contending right now. And so this Florida roster, they got to fill some big shoes. So I'm keen to watch them. They got 2 freshmen as well. So even more reason to have something to prove. So we already got some Florida fans hopping in chat. Well, I assume you're a Florida fan, B-Moan. Hey, you want to vote? Hey, I got you. You can use some Bepic points. Let me get that going. All right, you got 5 minutes. Put as many Bepic points as you want on it. Couple Gators fans. I'm sure the Clemson fans will show up. That's a good program too. But as soon as everyone hops in, we'll get this thing going. I'll put some music on in the background so it's not just deathly silent alongside my voice. But thanks for hopping in, guys. Excited for this one. We're getting towards the business end of the regular season for the fall split. I mean, group plays only got 3 matches left for most teams. Some of them only got 2 left. We've already had a couple series played. So this is where things get important. Things are important. Things get real here. Good program. No, come on. Good program. I'll stand by that. Clemson, I mean, talking to Snipes, it's real easy to get biased towards Clemson. That dude is so much fun to talk to. I suppose I'll play the interview again after the series is over. Maybe it'll have a happier tone to it if Clemson rebounds, or maybe it'll add on to the kind of the sadness that Snipes had. But that's who I'm waiting on. So, okay, they're in a game right now. Clemson is, but as soon as they're done, I think we're getting going. What kind of points we got? 10 points, Bimone. Do you think 1K means 10? Come on, put some Bepic points down. Can I predict my own channel point prediction? I can't. I was gonna put some points on Clemson, but I guess I've got infinite Bepic points, so. I can redeem a posture check, but I can't. But I can't vote in my own poll. Fair enough, I guess. I'm sitting up now. Oh, that was a little too far. Don't want my head to be cut off. The hair's gone. The forehead looks even bigger. We can't have that. No takers on Clemson yet. You hate money. Well, you gotta put more points down then, Bimone. I'm just saying. Alright, everyone's in. We're gonna get going if everyone's ready. I'm digging the synthwave. Alright, well, while the players are deliberating, I'm still waiting on the Clemson fans to pile in. I should advertise better to that area, I suppose, because the Florida fans are showing up right now. Got at least 3 in chat that I know of, and you know, as far as Twitch chats go, that's a large portion. Nick Strawberry, are you the ex Florida player Strawberry? Because that'd be a funny coincidence if not. All right, how's it going? You all graduate? I didn't know you were all seniors. The entire starting roster. That I saw that in the fun facts that this team submitted, and I was like, what? The entire starting lineup from LAN last season is gone? I'm glad you're showing up to support. I appreciate the follow, Mamacita. Appreciate it. All right, everyone's ready. Let's get into this thing. Pause the music, and away we go. Split across the U.S. working as software engineers. That's kind of cool, honestly. You graduate and then get distributed all across the United States. Glad you guys are finding success. All right, well, apparently everyone from the University of Florida has shown up in Twitch chat for this series. Clemson, they are on their lonesome, at least when it comes to public support. But away we go. Clemson in blue, Florida in orange. And for those, well, hold on a second. Clemson scoring first. 1-0. Snipes, the veteran, in his last dance with this team, putting in the first goal here, just stuck the ball behind Larry, and that was enough. He was telling me before the stream, because I had an interview with him. For those that got here after I played the interview, you should check it out on my YouTube channel, Mr. Bepic, if you like SEL content. But I interviewed Snipes, and there was some negativity about the start that Clemson has had, but also some positivity to go along with it, saying that if they figure things out, if they're able to work through it, he's got them as a top 10 team. And if they're supposedly a top 10 team, then they got to beat Florida. Because Florida, I would definitely rate as a squad that we'll be seeing in the postseason a little later on here. I don't mean the last chance qualifier. I mean that playoff bracket that's going to get you a lot of points en route to potentially playing on LAN a little bit later in the year. But so far, it has really been all Clemson. Florida had a little bit of possession there for a moment, but they have not been able to keep the ball on that blue end of the field. Instead, the Tigers, the squad, with a whole lot of pressure here to start off game one, the opening goal as well. So, we'll see if that continues. But as of right now, Florida's still trying to work their way out. This is a good start. Cheeky little passing play there in the midfield. Turned into a little bit of pressure. Freak director cam out there for a second. But wasn't good enough to turn into a goal. Forced Snipes up. And Clemson kind of vacated the net. True Raid forcing a miss out of Snipes. Gets back into the play. The long-standing member of this Clemson Rocket League program. Been on the A team since SEL started. He's played on it since season 0. Looking to make an impact in his last semester. But didn't find anything. He kind of out. Instead, it's a second opportunity for Florida. And True Raid scoring the first for the Gators. What a goal. Just given way too much space to operate. And that is why I wanted to see what this Florida roster was made of. Because I had a feeling that it'd be plays like that they're capable of. I just hadn't seen it from my own eyes just yet. Still, tie ball game. But Florida really gaining a lot of steam. Clemson's had some misses in their defensive end. That's given the Gators a little bit of space to work with. And True Raid showed us what happens when you give them space. Florida in the last 90 seconds has been dominating the pitch, and it leads to a second goal. They've had about 84% field domination in that last 90-second stretch. It's been serious. They'll take the lead, bouncing back from the opening goal that they suffered against them, and bouncing back by just controlling the ball well. They look a whole lot more settled in. I was talking earlier, Florida really hasn't played any middle-of-the-table teams. They played FAU and UGA, who are definitely top-of-the-table rosters, and they came up short in those series, but they also played Tulsa. They played the Clemson B team, who I definitely rate on the lower side of the table, but Arkansas, Clemson, they're two squads left to play. Ooh, nice shot. True Raid. That'll get you a goal against any side team. Top side, bottom side. That's just well placed. And Clemson, they've been hitting the mouth. Giving up 3 straight goals and a whole lot of possession to Florida. They need something, and they need it soon. That's a nice passing play. And you want to talk about playmaking. True Raid showed it off on one side of the field, but Masao, what a pass to Darth Pepe. I mean, you couldn't set up a better ball. And Darth Pepe knew what to do with it. And Florida still got that 1-goal buffer. And if it weren't for some nice goal line defense from True Raid, they'd have given up. 90 seconds left to defend it. And room to push this counterattack down the field, though He pushed up a little bit too far. Snipes gonna cut, flick, and turn into the equalizer. What a first game this is shaping up to be. I'm not sure what the thought process was right there by Florida. Maybe just sucked in by how much space it looked like they had there in the midfield. I don't know, but they gave up the game-tying goal. Now, 30 seconds left. Clemson can kind of steal this game back. It's a nice demo, though, by True Raid. Now it's Florida that has to recover from getting hit in the mouth. Snipes is up. Looking for control. An extra flip. Finds the ball to Larry. But this ball is stuck in neutral territory. No, we move to Clemson's back wall. Snipes, though, a good 50-50 and box out of True Raid. Not really giving anything to work with here for Florida. That's an easy read for Darth Pepe. Gets us to overtime. And now we see who can step up in extra time. Kyan wasn't able to do anything there. It was Masao that interfered with that play. Setup looked nice, though. Clemson learning from their previous mistake of giving Florida too much space to work with. And no possession numbers have tilted a little bit back in favor of Clemson. It's Florida on the goal line, winning it in overtime. Larry gonna power his way through. Kyan set it up. That's a great second touch by Larry. The shot right at Snipes, but it's the follow-up that makes that play. Game 1, going over to the Gators. And they let it slip for a second. They let it slip, but they got it back. They clutched up in overtime. 7 shots to 9, though. 1 goal game. Great start to the series so far. I was saying this is one that I think could really go the distance. Game 4 or 5. So far, looking like that could be the case. Interested, though, how Clemson reacts to losing that first game. Because I know they're not happy with how the season started. And it's a matter of, do they let that affect them within this series? Because sure, you can feel negative about your start to the season all you want, but if it starts to impact how you're playing your future series, that's when it becomes an issue. And that's a heartbreaking way to lose game 1, making that comeback just to have it ripped out from underneath you. Oh, Clemson, they'll need to recover. Seem to be doing so. Florida defending from their feet, or from their heels, rather. Well, they are defending from their feet. The ball's being kept low at the moment by Clemson. Seems they took it high right there. True Raid in the area to shut it down. That's not a great touch there by Clemson. Kind was all over it, but the Tigers going to attempt to clear. Should get it with Snipes on the ball. So Florida well positioned. And they're able to find a half clear. Just poking it through that center third, trying to force a mistake out of Clemson. And there's a pair. Masawa miss, and then Darth Pepe hitting it right into his teammate who had just exited the play. Oh, but a double commit there from Florida. Severe double commit. That puts Larry in a 1v2 situation. And he's unable to come up with a second save. That was necessary to keep this a 0-0 ball game. Great read by Masao. Just to be there, ready for Larry's touch. I'm impressed with Larry's defense on the first go-round of that play, but Clemson still capitalize. And again, finding first blood here. But if you'll recall, game 1, they found the first goal in that one, and Florida was not interested in letting them keep the lead. And they won't here either. 1-1. Kyan just in bodybuilder mode. Flexing his might on the goal line. I couldn't bet you, B-Moan. It wouldn't let me. I don't have an alt account that I can bet you on. Ooh, nice save by Kyan. And the out by True Raid. Not going to be a complete clear, but it definitely gets Florida out of a tricky spot. Darth Pepe. Beaten by Larry. Who's now going to have a little bit of room to work with here off the sidewall. I'm not sure what the boost situation was, but couldn't have been good enough. Didn't feel comfortable going for that solo effort. Double commit there from Florida. True Raid. Able to put the ball to the midfield line on a great touch from Larry. Kyle on the goal line does well. Now off to the races. Down the Clemson sideline. Setting up Larry, who slows the play down. Tried to get it through Darth Pepe, but that's True Raid's forte. After a sequence of 50s, though, we're still waiting on a victor. Florida victorious in getting a shot on target, but it's not enough to take the lead. Possession's so much closer in this game, though. Ooh, scoreboard going to stay level for now. But Florida, they just kind of got bailed out right there. That looked like it should have been a Clemson goal. Snipes was off on the shot. And the follow-up not good enough. Sal gonna get the ball over Kyan. Darth Pepe not as lucky with Larry. Back and forth, we continue to go. Florida, the more boost-heavy of the two teams. Faster of the two teams this game as well. But Clemson keeping it tied. Applying pressure. They've put up 8 shots to the Gators, just 3 so far in this game, which is a little surprising considering the possession numbers, and how even they've been. Clemson just applying more direct pressure than Florida is, but both teams certainly in it. That ball from Snipes going to fall into Larry's hands. Darth Pepe, kind of the same deal. Ball landed in their lap there on the midfield line. Leads to a shot for Clemson. Saved by True Raid. Center ball again. That's been a strength of this Tigers offense. Getting the ball center. Having a shooting option prepared for it. Probably the biggest reason why they've had the bulk of the opportunities on target in this game. But True Raid through the defense. It's these odd man situations that have cost Clemson this game and the previous. Overtime looming, though. Really depends on who wins this ball. Masao does, so Clemson, no, they won't get through the corner. 1-1. Our second straight overtime in this SEL Week 3 matchup. Going to tell us a lot about how Pool 1 is going to shake up. Does it get interesting in the last couple of series of the regular season? Does Florida kind of establish an upper echelon in this pool? The latter looking likely. Larry, the hero in Game 2. It's set up by True Raid, but Larry finishes it off. Snipes not there in time. And that means Game 2 going the Gators' way. So close, once again for Clemson, but they just can't eclipse the Gators. 9 shots for the Tigers there. Doesn't matter. Florida, efficient. And they find a way to get out of Game 2 with the win. Now 1 game from sweeping Clemson. Hasn't felt like a sweep, though. How close the games have been. How back and forth that second game was. Cool. Nice shot from Kyan. Very speedy, but Clemson was clumped up on the near side. Florida. Good start to game 3. So much time spent on the ball. Snipes can't get through Larry. Masao. A little bit more luck. True raid. Saying 1 second, chat. I don't know what that means. Controller died. Okay. All right. We're going to restart the game. Zan, that was your team that had the controller die. That was True Raid. What are you talking about? Alright, we should be good to go in a sec. I appreciate the smack talk, but you gotta make sure you're smacking the right team. USF fan. Fair enough. Hey, you guys made Alabama look bad the other day, so I'll appreciate that in football. I'm an Auburn guy. Yeah, you can't do that. Don't say that in chat. I'm cheating? Your player's controller died. I'm confused. Which side are you guys on? Some weird Florida fans in chat. I appreciate the passion though. I really do. All right. As soon as Florida hops back in, we'll probably get started from 5 minutes, just because no one scored. It was about even. Florida did have a good start, but they're the ones whose controller died. Just getting everyone back in the lobby. But good series so far. Okay, here we go. Everyone's back in. Let's get it rolling. I was gonna ask if everyone's controller is good, but I think so. Everyone's in. Game 3. Restart. Small tech difficulties. It would not be a Bepic stream if there weren't some form of tech difficulties. Whether that's on the pitch, in the booth, or in server land. Fred, you're just now following me? Oh, man. I suppose you're always on the Gaming Oasis account, so I guess I can forgive it. What's up, Fred? Clemson, the better start in game 3.1. Trying to take advantage of the pause, almost getting the opening goal. But Masao just a little bit off. El Fred. Man, B-Mon, you're just a hater about everybody that isn't Florida, aren't you? Florida Well, here's some positivity for you, BMO. In Florida, a good counterattack right there, but that looks like an open net. Masao, though, couldn't catch up. Oh, man, Clemson, they're so close on so many of these opportunities, but they just can't get the right touch. That finishing touch that needs to be on target isn't there, which, I mean, Florida beat them last game, getting outshot by 4. So there's something to be said about that last second execution. Still, doing a good job getting pressure. Masao, though, comes up empty on that shot. Larry's going to clear. Steal and boost as well. It's a productive trip into the Clemson end. For Larry, at least. Double commit. Going to alleviate a lot of that pressure. Good bump. But good backup by Larry. Dunking the ball off the Clemson back wall. Now Florida backed up again. Nice demo by Kyan. It's a heads-up midfield explosion. Which it probably wouldn't... If there was no demo there, Clemson's probably getting at least a shot on target. More possession to follow. Instead, Florida, they get themselves a clear. And they're back in defense to defend against that. True raid. So I'm putting a lot of awkward third man situations in this series, but doing so well in them. Right there. Little awkward play. Still pokes the ball over towards Larry. And even helps him. Maybe give him a little nudge there on the shot. The power of friendship scoring Florida's first goal of Game 3. They'll take the lead. And look to add to it. Now Snipes gets through True Raid. Larry, great pinch. Oh, Kyan's there. Darth Pepe. In the area, though. Defending it well. Now, boost grab from Masao. Center ball as well. But True Raid again. Back in defense. I'm going to have to pull up his final numbers on the back line in this series because I know he's gotten at least 2 Savior medals in this one. That's how a captain should play. Clemson putting more pressure on the board, but that attempt falls flat. Good interception by Snipes. This is a lot of field domination here. Clemson's had 63% of the 3 minutes, 40 seconds of this game played on the offensive end. Larry. Up the side wall, feeling confident. What's he got in store for us? Not much. But it's a ball to the back wall of Clemson. That'll waste time. That'll push him back. That'll make finding a clear more difficult. And that is exactly what Florida needs to be doing to take this game in a sweep. Oh, nice pop there by True Raid. Got 2 to miss, but the follow-up not there. Florida still playmaking. But a big demo by Darth Pepe. He's going to clear a little bit of room for Snipes. He's going to steal that corner boost. Darth Pepe up off the back wall. True Raid a solid read. Jumped on that second ball from Snipes. Florida's set up in defense. It's going to take a lot for Clemson to knock him down. 10 seconds. Clemson. All this talk about how they need a series win. How they need something to start going their way in the SEL this season. Now they need it on 0 seconds. An opportunity. Masao, though. Couldn't put it on target. Going to keep the ball up. Larry, big opportunity to spike it. Darth Pepe crept up. Can't keep the ball alive. And Florida take 3 straight 1-goal games. And they down Clemson in a sweep. 2 of those games, they had 5 shots or less. Outshot by Clemson in those. But they still find a way to win. Efficient offense. Incredible backline defense. Let me pull up those True Raid numbers. Let me see. True Raid finished with 2 goals on 9 shots and 8 saves. That's almost 3 savior medals. That's impressive. That's very impressive. Had, what's 5/8? That's, what, 63%? True Raid had 63% goal participation, plus 8 saves. And Kyan had 6 saves as well. Can't leave out that performance, but True Raid stepping up big time in that series. Huge factor. Held Clemson to just 4 goals. That was some impressive backline defense. Florida's got some good fans. It's very passionate fans. I don't know about good, but you know, as long as you guys aren't attacking any Clemson fans, I appreciate the Twitch chat zeal you guys are bringing. Hopefully, you'll stick around for another series. We got an all South Carolina matchup happening later. The A team versus the B team, which A team's 4-0, but B team's 3-1. That's a big pool 2 matchup because South Carolina Garnet, they're actually in contention for a top 2 spot in that group. Gonna have to rip it away from the A team and Florida State, who have looked pretty much unbeatable. Cannot wait to watch those 2 teams play each other a little later in the season. But for now, we'll have to be all right with South Carolina versus South Carolina. Yeah, I figured that would be the reaction upon bringing up South Carolina. Even worse than Clemson. Fair enough, B-Moan. You've been the pocket of knowledge this entire series. Seem to know everything. Alright. Well, I'm going to take a break. I'm going to put up the latest interview that I conducted on my Twitch channel. It's one with the king of pick'ems in the Rocket League scene. Mr. World Car from Pickstop. Then you follow the RLCS. Highly recommend Pickstop. That is a great tool for pick'ems if you're into that sort of thing. So, I'm going to play that interview. But, till then, thanks for watching. Hopefully you stick around for the Gamecock series. Here we go. Welcome.